Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to hang out with me. Today's video, I'm super excited because it's a huge multi-channel collab hosted by the lovely Becca's Beauty channel. And I actually had this video written out on a list to do, so I am definitely stoked to be able to do this collab with a bunch of other creators. It is the one dip brush challenge, and I am a little nervous for this. At least for some of the steps in my makeup routine, I will be there building and building and building, and I cannot do that in this video, especially like my highlighters or building up pigment, creating an eye look. So it's definitely going to be a huge challenge for me. There will be a playlist in the description box of all of the channels participating to see how they did with this challenge. And if you're visiting from any of their channels, welcome. Thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you subscribe and give this video a like before you leave. The first step in my routine is brows, and I figured I was going to be too tempted with a pencil to go over a few times. So I actually found a pomade in my collection. This is the KVD one. We received it in BOXYCHARM a couple months back, and I figured it would work out really nice with my Lexi 215 angled brush. Just dipping it in one time. I guess it means just one dip, whatever you're doing. So I can only get one dip in for both of my brows. Oh, it's gonna be tricky. One eye is definitely gonna be lacking a little bit. So I guess we gotta make that one dip count. At first I was feeling kind of good about this, and I'm like, yeah, for one side of my face, and the other side's gonna be looking rough as hell. As you can tell, I'm just rambling to delay this a little further, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go over. I remember this being a thick pomade, thick with like 5 C's. So I should be okay to get my brows all nice and filled in. All right, here we go. One dip. I think we got a decent amount on there. Guess we'll see when we actually apply. Hopefully we have a better makeup day than hair day. Whew, this rain got the frizz going on real good. I think I'm gonna focus more on like the tail area, since that's the more sparse area than the front. All right, just gonna dab a little there, and then we'll do the same over here. I could also be looking very deep into this challenge, because it's supposed to be, you know, for fun. I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom here as well to at least carve it out. Okay. I think that brow is okay, all things considered. I learned something, because I know I was so tempted to want to do another dip back in here, but there's a lot more product that was picked up on the brush than I thought there was, because these brows actually don't look too bad. I mean, with respect to fullness, I know the shape could probably be a little tweaked up, but they are pretty full just for that one dip. I hope setting them can actually clean it up just a tad. I don't necessarily want to take away, because I can't dip back in to fix it, so I'm gonna leave it and do just one swipe over each brow, see if that could help diffuse some product over to get that more fullness. Next, we only get one pump of primer. This is my Cool as a Cucumber by Ofra, so I'm just gonna take little bit all the areas, because I definitely use 2 pumps. I guess you actually see how much product you actually might waste a little bit. So this is actually a really nice challenge, because usually I use 1 pump on my like lower half of my face and 1 pump for the upper half. Maybe it's because I am super dry, but I feel nice and primed and moisturized with that 1 pump. This foundation, it's not pumping out that well, so I'm actually just going to dip in with this Wet n Wild brush. Make sure, just get it in nice. And oh yeah, we got like a lot of foundations. There's something with the pump. I think the pump is clogged, so only like a drop is coming out. And then switching to my Sigma 3D HD Max Kabuki to buff everything out. Here is going to be another challenging area, is to set the face, and I can only dip into my MAC powder one time, so we're gonna swirl this shit real good. Just one big dip. It's still the one dip. All right. There's a lot. Okay. Gotta make every bit count. Because especially with like setting powder, I definitely like to dip in at least one time for this cheek, and then the forehead. And then the T-zone gets like its own separate treatment when it comes to setting. But I think that one big swirl dip, I mean, there's a lot of kick up from that. So there's a little bit of waste generated, but hey, if it helps me make a pan in this, I would be quite happy. We're just going to take whatever's on here as our one dip. Might as well make sure we get as much primer as we can get. It's almost too much primer. Is that a thing? I wanted to maximize my one dip again. I definitely felt a little strategic picking out a palette for this since I could only dip into it one time. So I chose my Be Perfect Stacey Marie palette. This is almost instant pigment, but you can also go in light-handed to build up to your liking. And I think I'm just gonna work on a neutral look. When I do bright looks, I'm definitely there taking my time on building up the pigment. It might not turn out that good. Like this shade Sky, I definitely like to build that up to make it bam in your face because it's such a gorgeous blue. So a neutral look. Maybe we can get away with like the pop of blue on the lower lash line. I don't think I'm gonna swirl it nearly as tough as I did with my setting powder, but at least a nice swirl like we have right here. And as much as I do want to tap off for the excess, that's going to be a waste of product of my one dip. So I think I'm just going to lightly hand on both sides. Now, if it was one dip for each side, that would be super helpful, but I don't think that's the case. Just going to rotate on both sides of the crease. That way that they can be as even as I can get them. And then hopefully that way, one side isn't more overpowered than the other with respect to pigment. I definitely see like the edges around the crease being a little bit rough. That's where I need like that next dip to help diffuse it a little bit more. So I'm just working on back and forth motions to try to get it as smooth as I can, but this might be the best that we can get it to. For one dip, I don't think that's terrible. If it was that beautiful blue, I think we would be in trouble. I do want to give the outer V a little bit dimension. This is where it's gonna be a little bit tricky. Like I want enough pigment for both outer Vs. I don't want the outer V to be too powerful. So let's see. Not as hard, but kind of light in a way. Oh yeah, I think that should be enough. And I'm just going to tap and tap and then work in circular motions. And then also bring it up to the crease a little bit. Okay, outer V, I see you. Let's get this one. Oh, I definitely see this one being a little bit more deeper. I knew going into this the outer V was going to be a little bit tricky to get them even. What to take on the lid? I want to take Hustle, Queenie, or Hush. Those are always the questions. I think I want to take Hush. I can't lift up. I'm like, if I lift up, there goes my one dip. I think that was like the perfect amount of shimmer for both lids. I also really wanted a nice big shadow brush to maximize how much pigment I can pick up, even if it does cause a little bit of messiness, because I'm not going to go back into the outer V or the crease since I've already dipped into those shades one time. Eyeliner, I'm not feeling as confident with this. Once I lift up, I think it's going to be like, all right, you're done. So I've got to be a little bit careful with this. Chose out my House Laboratories for my lid. Oh yeah, eyeliner, That was a freaking disaster. That's the one dip right there. We're missing a chunk of the lid, but I think we will be okay because we are gonna put lashes on. We'll just deal with how messed up it looks. This side's gonna be even worse because I always have to hold it. It was a little bit better until I had a blink. Now I'm gonna take my Tarte Tartiste for my waterline. Same rule is going to apply. I was hoping for a little bit more pigment there. And then this side's just a little wonky. Who would have thought eyeliner was gonna be the shit show of this challenge? Dipping back into the Carnival palette, I am gonna take Sky for the lower lash. Just one jiggle. It's a lot of jiggle. Hopefully that's not gonna ruin. Inner corners, let's see. This is gonna be the hard part. Do I take Moody or Breezy? I think I'm gonna take Breezy. I think that will have a more popping inner corner than Moony will. So let's get a nice one dip. Inner corners here to save the day. So aside from this really crappy eyeliner job, I think we're doing okay. Definitely need some lashes to help salvage this eyeliner. So I usually only use one dip of lash glue, so we'll be okay. Feeling a little bit better with the lashes. My lower waterline could use a little bit work. Just to make sure that my natural lashes are blended in with these falsies, I'm gonna do one swipe of mascara on each side. And then taking the Tarte Tartiste, at least that worked better than the lower waterline. Bronzer, we only get one dip in, but you gotta make it count. But it's gonna look like mud for like 2 seconds. Okay, now go. It's all about product placement and then working on blending it out really nice. So I know that this like lower part of my jaw isn't going to get as much bronze, but it's okay. I think it's more for like dimension, but actual like showing, I definitely need it on my cheeks and around my forehead. Definitely gonna be using a larger blush brush. Back and forth. That's still one dip. Yeah, this cheek could have used a little bit more blush, but then again, we go blush crazy like how we do in the crease, the lower lash, inner corners. I'm actually gonna switch to an Ofra highlighter because these things are beaming to the gods. This is the Samantha March Ofra collab in the shade Start Inspired. This is like the most beaming highlighter I have in my collection, so I feel confident with like this one swirl, we are going to be beaming on the cheekbones. Back and forth motions. Lipstick, I am a little bit nervous because I usually like to dip in for one time on the upper and lower lip, so gotta make this one doe foot count. Only one dip into that liquid lipstick and my lips are covered, and just because it's my favorite lip duo right now with that Stone Dose of Colors lipstick and then my Lunar Beauty gloss in Starlight, I have to do one swipe, and that's all you need with these Lunar Beauty glosses. The doe foot just picks up so much product, it's the perfect amount. I think setting spray is going to suck the most because you only get one pump of it, so might as well right in the center of the face. I at least had to make sure that T-zone was nice and set. This is the final look, and honestly, I am kind of impressed that it turned out as decent as it did. I definitely expected it to be a little bit more of a shit show, I'm not gonna lie. Mainly it was eyeliner that I ran into with my issues on this. I guess with House Laboratories, if I didn't dip back in, I could have at least went back over on the lid. I kind of just took the approach of, okay, once I'm over, and that was my one dip. And that's the same approach I took on the waterline, and it's definitely a little bit more messier. But for powder products, I was trying to be as strategic as I could, pick up as much product as I could on the brush, and then place it around either my face or my eyes. That way it at least has a little bit of evenness to it, and then blend out, as opposed on working on one side of your face or eye first and then working on the other eye, because I felt like that other eye was going to be super lackluster and there would be no point of actually doing that eyes. And then the lip products had no issues at all with how much product the doe foot picked up. This was a lot of fun. I really have been enjoying tag and makeup challenges a lot, so I would love to know what other tags and challenges you would like to see. And if you have tried this challenge, how was your experience? What was your approach and strategy on trying to make your dips count? I know I said that a bunch of times in this video. As long as my brush did not lift up in the pan until it was fully released up, that was my dip. I also learned how much product that we use, like with brows, lower lash, inner corners, crease. I definitely see myself dipping in multiple times to build it up to my liking, satisfaction, where in reality, one dip you can get away with. But when I'm in the zone of creating a look, I'm not thinking of I can only just dip in one time, except for this challenge video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I know I'm very excited to see how everyone else's looks turned out and seeing their approach on making their dips count. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.